new intern here. I'm going to be interning here for about a year or so. My position here is also called a family advocate. I'm going to be working along with your other family advocate to help you find the resources and the needs that you want. So right now we're going to do an intake assessment, which is basically, as I mentioned, just trying to find resources that you may need or want to help find locally within our community. So if you do have any questions or anything, just let me know. Are you ready to start?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Your preferred language?
Spanish, but I speak English too.
Okay, cool. No problem. How would you rate your proficiency in English?
I guess like a beginner to proficient.
Okay, yeah, no problem. And Spanish is your primary language, right? Okay, cool. All right. What about your income source? Do you have any income at the moment coming in through you?
No.
No? Okay. There's no problem. Do you have any assets or, like saving accounts like back in your home country? No? Okay. Your relationship status? So your housing status?
No. I've been living in shelters for the past month.
For the past month?
Yeah.
Okay. So shelter and then maybe no home?
Yeah.
Okay. What about education? High school, middle school, high school dropout?
I did college.
You did college? Okay. What degree or how far did you go?
I have a BA in business.
Okay. Cool. That's awesome. Your occupation? Sorry.
I'm unemployed. Right now.
Unemployed. Okay. Again, if all these questions seem a little too personal or just make you feel uncomfortable, you can just pass, the question up. Your sexual orientation. Heterosexual.
Yeah.
Do you have any children?
No.
No children? Okay. So I'm gonna just have you sign the beginning part of the intake we've gone over, which was basically just you telling me about your income, your housing situation, and a little bit about your background. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So now the next part of our intake is just talking a little bit about your abuser. So again, if you don't feel comfortable talking about this, just pause me at any moment. At this part of our assessment, it's more of a touchy subject, so we're going to be talking about your abuser. So I just want to cover confidentiality. Whatever we talk about in this environment right here stays between you and me. I know that we're in an open space area. I just felt that it might be nice for you to feel some fresh air, while we're talking about this. But then again, if I do hear something that I may need to bring upon to like my supervisor, I will talk to them. But I will let you know and ask you if it's okay to disclose it with them. And if you don't feel comfortable, then we can take different steps towards that. So I'm just gonna have you sign this to make sure that you agree with the confidentiality. Cool. Thank you. Okay, so when did you first meet your partner?
Like 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Describe how you met your partner.
I met him through a dating app.
A dating app? Okay. Can you describe how you met your partner?
Yeah, through a dating app.
A dating app. Was this during your stay at your home country or already here in the United States?
My home country.
Home country. Okay.
I would talk to him through WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay, good to know. How did your relationship progress? Like from when you guys first started to when you started seeing some different attitudes or.
Well, it started off very casual, and then I came here and I met him in person, and then we were dating, and once we were officially a couple, we moved in together for a couple of months, and then it just slowly. I don't think I really realized how abusive it was getting and how toxic it was, but yeah, slowly it was getting worse and worse.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear all that. It does seem like you went through a lot. Like you mentioned, saying that it started off good and then it ended kind of in bad terms. Hopefully here we can help you find different activities to help you cope with that. The type of domestic violence or sexual assault that he did to you?
Mostly just physical abuse.
talking to him after. Okay. Can you describe in a little bit in more detail about the abuse, if you feel comfortable?
There was a lot of jealousy, so he would always accuse me of things, and if there was something he didn't like, he would address it in a very negative way. So that's where the physical abuse came.
In the way you say negative way that he would bring it to you, is it more like verbal abuse, you think?
No, physical.
Physical abuse? Okay. Did he ever like talk down to you?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you think he lowered your self-esteem in any way?
Yeah.
A lot. All right. Have you ever had any other DV or sexual assault experience before?
No.
This was your first time? All right. So now that you're here in shelter, things do run a little bit differently. Because this is a transitional shelter, we're trying to help you get your back onto your 2 feet and try to live on your own right now. So there are a couple things that we do want to make sure that happen here. So you are not allowed to actually share your location, this home address, with anybody. That's also part of why we're here meeting out in the open public before we take you into the shelter. For your safety reasons and for the other women and survivors and family members, and it's just also safety precautions. So we do have a specific PO box where if you need any documentation from the court or anything like that to be sent out to the PO box, or and we can pick it out and then we will let you know. Is that okay with you? Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. And then you did also mention you didn't have any children, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Does your abuser live here?
Yeah, I don't know where he lives, but he's still here.
So he lives in the U.S. Okay. His primary language? English. Okay. His ethnicity?
He's Caucasian.
Caucasian. Okay. Do you know his occupation?
I think he was going to medical school.
Medical school? Okay. Did your abuser by any chance have any weapons that you would have known of?
No guns or anything.
No? Okay. Did your abuser ever use drugs or substance abuse? Or anything like that?
Alcohol once in a while.
Alcohol. Does your abuser have any criminal records that you know of?
Not that I know.
Again, if it's a lot, you can always stop me to take a little break or anything like that. I know it must be a lot to kind of remember everything. So now we're just going to do like a wellness assessment. So I know your papers and all your documentation were taken away from you when you got sent or taken away by ICE. So I wanted to acknowledge that, it is very hard, and I understand that you might have some struggles going on right now. Are there any health concerns that you have right now that you're going through?
Well, like my glasses, they're old.
They're old?
Yeah, I can kind of see, but I think I need new ones.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Actually, the shelter provides a $500 grant, which allows you to use in whichever way and form you want. So it can totally go towards your glasses as well. And I think we also provide a free access to a clinic for eye doctors. Okay. Are you seeking any medical treatment at the moment? No. Okay. How would you describe your overall mood?
It's a little overwhelming to just go through this and trying to figure things out.
Definitely, I understand that. I could definitely understand that. Have you had any? So, thank you for sharing that. As we talked about, being overwhelmed is definitely hard. And I'm glad to hear you acknowledge that and recognize it as well. So thank you for sharing that with me. So now I'm just going to ask you a little bit about the legal assistance that we can provide and also connect you with. Do you have a restraining order against your abuser?
No.
No? Okay. Would you like to file one by any chance?
I don't know.
No, it's fine. If there comes a time in your stay here that you would like to, we can always seek to accommodate you. All right. So I know that you are an undocumented survivor. So if you don't mind telling me, what year did you enter California?
Like in 2012, around there.
2012. Okay. can you describe to me the circumstances that brought you to the U.S.?
It's just hard over there. Yeah.
Hard lifestyle?
Yeah, the lifestyle. I just wanted to work and be able to provide for myself.
Okay. Can you describe a little bit your adjustment here? I'm pretty sure it was a different culture shock, right?
Yeah, it was. I was still a little younger. I mean, I'm like in my 30s now, but I did take some classes, which is why I went to college. But
Okay.
it was really different and hard at first, being away from family and being on my own.
Definitely. Okay. And you mentioned that you did not have any family in the U.S., correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to talk to you a little bit. I want to know about your financial assistance so that maybe next week we can go over some basic needs that you may need, that we can help you find locally. So have you ever heard of CalWorks or General Relief or food stamps?
I heard about it, but I
Never
never.
gone? Okay. Since you are undocumented, it might be a little bit difficult to find resources to help accommodate you, but I don't want that to discourage you at all. We will try our best to help you find resources, and we do have a great connection with the local shelter home called Harbor Interfaith, which they provide numerous amounts of services for all individuals. So, and here in California, there's the AB60, which also provides you a California license. So I don't know if maybe driving would also be one of your goals, but that having that license could also be your form of identification. Since right now you don't have anything, we could file for the AB60 eventually. Once you maybe like next week or so. So it's not all at once. Is that something that interests you? So what kind of permanent housing are you trying to obtain? Since one of our goals here is to help you move into more of you're standing on your own 2 feet and whatnot. Are you looking for more of a Section 8 or like maybe a low income apartment housing?
Yeah, like low income.
No income? Okay. Can you describe your work history for me?
I used to be a caregiver before for about 3, maybe 4 years.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice. With different ages?
It was like an elderly lady, so I was just helping her around.
That's so cool. You must have a lot of patience. Okay. Are there any like social groups or things that you like to do on the side for hobbies? Here an important thing is self-care, and just trying to not stay in your head too much, because thinking a lot, brings up a lot of emotions and memories that sometimes we don't want to remember. So we like to maintain the ability to have groups for you guys open. Are there any hobbies or any groups you'd like to join?
Like art?
Art?
Like art stuff.
Yeah. We usually, once a week, we have a facility group meeting here for all the survivors, and we actually do art activities or watch movies and stuff like that. So if you would like to come down, you're more than welcome to come down from your apartment and just join us in the community. All right. So do you have any existing support system at the moment? No. Okay. So I know that at this moment it might be really hard for you, especially because you don't have anybody and you're here alone. Your family is out in Mexico. But I just want to let you know that since you're staying here, I will be your support system, and so will your other family advocate. So if you need anything, like anything at all, whatever time of the day, we are all on call. I am personally not on call because I'm an intern, but when I am here, if I can help you and assist you in anything, please feel free to come to me and ask me any questions and whatnot. And then we finished our assessment, so I just need you to sign for me just to confirm that we went over it and everything. And then I know it might have been a lot right now, so it's just kind of the beginning stage. Next week we're going to be meeting up again, hopefully on Wednesday or so, like around 4 o'clock, to go over maybe on what services you may need, like food stamps or maybe food banks or the glasses, because that's something that I'm really concerned about, your vision. I don't want you to get headaches or anything like that, so keeping your health is very important. So I just signature, please. Thank you. All right. Do you have any questions for me at the moment? No? I know you must be tired. I took a lot of your energy. I'm so sorry. But you're free to welcome. I'm going to take you to your apartment room, show you around, and then just welcome to CPAP. Thank you. Hi. So my
my name is Mariana.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. My name is Mariana. I'm a BSW intern with OCDE Student Services. The reason we're meeting today is because you've been referred for substance use counseling. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to meet for once a week, about 30 to 45 minutes until your release date, in hopes that we can support you and find some ways to cope with your use. Okay?
Cool.
So before we start, I have some forms for you to sign, and this is just for you to say that you understand or you agree that you want to accept these services. Is that okay?
I guess, yeah.
Okay. So first is the limits of confidentiality. This is just for you to understand that you can share whatever you want to share with me, but there will always be some things that are exempt from that I would not share or discuss with anyone else. So everything we talk about stays between me and you and my supervisor. So think about it like the triangle of trust. So it's me, you, and my supervisor. Because I am an intern, I do have to go back and follow up with her and ask her for advice and tips. Other than that, everything we share stays between us.
Am I gonna be meeting with her too, or just you?
No, just me.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so you signing this, you're agreeing that some of the things that you may share may be reportable. So if you share with me that there is some sort of abuse in the home, child abuse, neglect, or even elderly abuse, like you have a grandparent that's being mistreated at home, that's reportable. If you share that you have suicidal or homicidal ideation, that's also reportable because you're putting yourself or someone else in danger. So we want to avoid that and support you and help you stay out of trouble, okay?
Alright.
Things like that. So if you accept, you can sign here.
So what happens if like one day I just don't want to do it anymore?
We're going to talk about that next.
Alright.
So you agreeing to counseling services are completely optional. So if one day you decide, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, it's not helping me, that's optional and it's something that you can decide. But as of today, if you do want to accept these services and you want to move forward, you're going to sign this form for me. And like I said, it's just for you to say, yes, I'm giving my authorization and my consent to meet with you and have this counseling session. And if you ever say like, oh, I don't want to meet today, or I don't feel like meeting today, you have that option of saying no.
Okay.
And if you want to terminate services, then we can terminate services. The only way you wouldn't be able to terminate services is if it's court mandated. So the court is telling you to take these counseling services. But because you're just being referred by another therapist, that's not the case for you. So it's optional.
Okay.
So if you understand, sign here. Great. So with you signing these papers, you understand that these services are optional, but we will be meeting once a week. And that if you ever share anything that may be reportable, I have to report those things. So I will remind you, like, hey, it sounds like you're gonna share something that may be like a suicidal ideation or something like that. And I'll remind you just so you know if you want to keep moving forward with sharing or if you want to stop. That is always going to be up to you.
Okay.
Alright, so let's get started. We're going to start with the substance assessment. And basically what I'm going to ask you is just a few questions that have to do with your use. Okay?
Alright.
Okay. So, what are your reasons for substance use? Like, why do you use substances?
To be honest, I never really thought about it, so I don't really know. I just do it to do it, I guess. It's cool.
You think it's cool?
Yeah.
Okay. What are the reasons for seeking treatment at this time?
Well, I mean, I got cut up on it, so I don't know. I'm here.
Is that why you're here? You got
Yeah.
caught up? Would you say that your basic needs such as food, shelter, clothing, and safety are being met?
I don't know. I mean, my house isn't the best place to be at all the time, so I just stay out on the streets with my friends.
Why do you say it's not the best place to be at?
My parents fight a lot, so I'd rather stay away from it.
Is that the only reason? Or
I mean, I guess I don't know.
but if you were to go home, you have shelter, you have clothes, and you have food.
Yeah, but I don't feel comfortable staying there.
Would you say that you have any past suicidal, homicidal ideation or intent?
I mean, I thought about it, but I've never really gone through with it, you know? I just kind of just stay doing my own thing, try to keep my mind off of things. I don't like thinking too much, so I guess I use substance for that.
Would you say that you currently have suicidal ideation or homicidal ideation?
Nah, I don't.
Okay, so now we're gonna go over treatment history. Have you ever been in an outpatient program?
What's that?
An outpatient program is where you're receiving services, but you don't stay there. So you come in, you check in, you receive services.
Oh, I think I did once when I was younger.
You know how old you were?
Maybe like 12.
Okay. What about inpatient?
Nah.
Okay. Have you ever been incarcerated previously from today?
Yeah.
How many times?
Once.
How old were you when you first got incarcerated?
14.
How old are you now?
16.
And this is the first time you've been incarcerated at 16?
Yeah.
Have you ever been part of a 12-step program?
Nah.
Have you ever stopped using substances on your own?
I've tried like here and there, but things don't really work out, so I just kind of fall back and go back to it. It's my thing.
What are some things that you would say have helped you stop in the past?
I mean, I made some good friendships out on the streets with some people, some good people, I think, and then kind of helped me stay away from it. But sometimes friendships don't last, so things go bad.
Yeah. Would you say that there is any family alcohol, drug abuse history in your family?
Definitely. Yeah.
Would you say your father?
Yeah, my father and then my mom too.
Any step parents in the household?
Nah, more just like boyfriends in and out the house all the time for my mom.
Grandparents?
No.
Siblings?
No.
Significant other?
Like for me?
Yeah.
No.
Aunts or uncles?
I don't know.
Okay. So now this part that we're going to go over is basically like a chart. There's a list of substances, and then I'm going to ask you whether or not you have used it. You can respond with yes or no. And then we're going to fill out what age you have used, the last time you used it, how old you were, if you're currently using, how frequently you were using, and how much you were using. Okay? Like how much you were
Like
using.
dosage?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Okay, cool. So let's start. Alcohol, how old were you when you first started using?
Last time, like 10.
10? Okay, and then age of last time you used, how old were you?
16, I guess.
16. And would you say you're currently using?
No, not now.
How frequently were you using?
Like every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
And how much would you say that you were consuming?
Maybe like 2 cans of Four Loko.
Okay. And just drinking, or was there any other way you would ingest?
No, I would just drink alcohol.
Methamphetamine?
No.
No. Prescription meds such as Xanax or Valium?
Yeah, that was my first thing I ever did.
Xanax or
Xanax.
how old were you when you first started using?
Maybe like 10 and a half.
The last time you used, how old were you?
Like 11?
Currently using?
No.
How frequently would you say you were using?
I mean, here and there, I guess when my mom would get prescriptions from her doctor, so maybe like what? How often do you get prescriptions? Like twice a month, or is it like once a month?
Well, this pertains to how often you were taking them. So if you were only drinking it or consuming it once a month, then you would say once a month. Or if you were taking it like every other day, then every other day.
Maybe like twice a week when I could sneak it in.
And how many pills would you say?
Like 2.
And how are you ingesting?
By mouth.
Narcotics such as oxycodone, morphine, or Vicodin.
Not morphine.
Morphine. How old were you when you were using morphine?
Probably the first time I got hospitalized. So like what, 11?
11. Okay. Last time you used it?
I don't remember. I don't know.
We can skip that one then. Ecstasy, Molly, or MDMA?
Nah.
No. Inhalants such as NOS or air dusters?
Yeah.
Which one?
Air dusters.
Okay. How old were you when you first started using?
Like 13?
13. Last time? How old were you?
Man, I think I got over that quick. I was probably still 13.
And currently using? No, since you were 13.
Nah.
Frequency, how frequently would you say?
Probably like twice a month if I could. I would steal it though. I would never like.
How many
Buy
would
it.
you say?
Like 2 cans.
And just inhaling?
Yeah.
What about cannabis? So marijuana or wax? Yeah.
Yeah.
How old were you the first time?
12
And then the last time you used?
before I got here. So 2 weeks ago, I guess.
How old were you?
Oh, I was 16.
And currently using?
You said if I say yes, that means that I'm doing it in the union.
Yes.
Does anything happen if I say that?
Well, I mean, I would have to bring it up to my supervisor, and then she will decide what goes on next. So.
Then nah, I'm good. I don't do that
How frequently would you say you were using?
every day.
And then how much?
Shoot, I don't know. I be buying every day, like maybe 3 grams or more.
And were you just smoking, or were you eating it up?
Nah, just smoking. But when I first started, I would just do edibles.
So the next one is cocaine or crack.
I've done cocaine before.
How old were you?
First time I seen it happen in my house, I was probably like 11.
Okay. What about cocaine or crack?
What do you mean?
Like, have you ever used cocaine or crack?
Oh yeah.
How old were you when you first used?
12,
The last time you used, how old were you?
14.
And then currently using?
Nah.
How frequent would you say that you were using the substance?
Every day probably.
Okay. And how much?
I don't remember.
You know? Form of ingestion. How are you consuming?
Cocaine. Through my nose.
Snorting?
Yeah.
Okay. Hallucinogens such as LSD, mushrooms, PCP,
Nah.
heroin or opioid? Yeah. Which one?
Heroin.
How often?
Once or twice a week.
Okay. How old were you when you first started using?
14.
And the last time you used?
16.
And how were you ingesting it?
Injections.
How much would you say you were using?
Maybe like 2 shots a day.
And what about nicotine?
Nah.
No? Spice? Okay. So now we're just going to move on to some problems and consequences that substance abuse has caused you. And I'm just going to read through some things and you can say yes or no.
Okay.
Hangovers,
Yeah.
withdrawal symptoms,
Definitely.
sleep disturbance,
Nah.
binges, some problems, consequences that substance use has caused you. And I'm just going to read you and you can answer yes or no. Okay?
For sure.
Hangovers,
Yeah.
withdrawal symptoms,
Yeah.
sleep disturbance,
Nah.
binges,
What?
binges,
Nah.
seizures,
No.
medical conditions,
Yeah.
assaults,
No.
job loss,
Yeah.
blackouts,
Yeah. Yeah.
tolerance changes,
Yeah.
suicidal impulse,
Nah.
arrest,
Yeah.
overdose,
Nah.
loss of control in amounts used,
No.
relationship conflicts,
Nope.
anything else that I may have left out?
No, I'm good.
No? Okay. So now we're going to go into drug withdrawal reaction. So if these apply to you, just say yes or you can say none. Do you ever feel irritable,
Yeah.
hostile,
Nah.
aggressive,
Yeah.
out of control?
Nah.
No. Nervous or tense?
Yeah.
Mood swings? Suicidal?
Nah.
Okay. Anything else that you feel that I left out?
No.
Okay. Usual substance use environment. So when do you usually use? When you're at school, social events, at home with others, home alone, or you have no preference?
No preference.
Okay. Do you feel that you have a choice to use or not to use?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one more question I'm gonna ask you is, what would you like to change about your use behaviors?
I mean, I guess I would just like to learn how to control myself, like when I do use and when I don't want to use, you know? But other than that, I don't really see anything else that I want to change.
Okay. Is there any reasons that you say this? Like,
I mean, because I feel like it just makes me feel good sometimes, you know, and a lot, like, you know, marijuana's legal now, so I don't see why I wouldn't be able to use it.
but you know it's legal for people 21 and over, right?
I mean, I guess, yeah, so.
As long as you know.
Well, thanks for letting me know. But, I mean, I don't know, I feel like people should be allowed to cope somehow.
Okay. So maybe that's something we can work on next time. Maybe some coping skills for you that don't necessarily mean you using substances.
Alright.
Okay. So that ends our assessment. Next week when we follow up, we're just going to touch up on this again, and then we're going to go over what's called the readiness ruler, and then we'll go from there. Okay?
Alright, thanks so much. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
For sure.